Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital sees Curtis Ashford, Donnell Turner, May do Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, dirty and reveal her tawdry fling with Drew Kane, Quartermain, Cameron Matheson, after just telling her sometimes, you got to betray a friend. So, if you are current on your episodes this week, you know that Nina came to pitch Curtis on her doing a Tello interview that would cast Sonny Corinthos Morris Bernard in a very bad light. And of course, Curtis assumed it was Drew blackmailing her into this, and Nina said, no, it's somebody else. She's being blackmailed by more than one person. Although Drew has been blackmailing Nina and Portia Robinson Brooke Kerr, and Curtis. This time, of course, it's Tracy Quartermain Jane Elliott doing her dirty and forcing Nina into a corner because she also knows that she was banging Drew. And it really surprised Curtis when Nina said Tracy had threatened to reveal her past affair with Drew. Now he knows about it, but he doesn't think it's widespread knowledge, and it kind of is, but kind of isn't. You know, Cody Bell Josh Kelly knows, he's sitting on it. But then again, he's being very ethical since he took that payoff from Drew. I guess so. Nina and Curtis both realize that the secrets they have are costing them a lot. And unless something changes, they're going to continue to be pushed around. And the problems all circle back to one person, Drew freaking Kane. He's the reason Curtis has to publish negative articles about Sonny and about Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson, and why Nina has to target the ex-husband. She still loves Sonny. And even though Curtis isn't sure that his marriage is going to last, he still wants to get Portia out from under Drew's thumb if he can. So, I felt like it might be a bit of foreshadowing when Curtis told Nina, sometimes you need to betray a friend. And the friend Curtis betrays, well, it could be Nina. He might do it in the worst possible way. And Curtis may actually do something Nina would never forgive on General Hospital. You know, Sonny actually took it pretty well that Nina did this interview. The exclusive tell-all from Sonny's ex-wife that trashed him. And then when he asked if there was more bad news coming, Nina had to tell Sonny, well, yeah, it's going to get worse. There's a part 2 about your mental health and what happens when you're off your meds. So, Nina did tell Sonny a partial truth. She said that Tracy is blackmailing her because she wants to run Sonny out of town. And Nina says that the blackmail is about family. Sonny didn't ask a bunch of questions, but Nina obviously didn't tell Sonny this was about keeping an affair with Drew a secret because that might change Sonny's perspective and he might be understanding if he knew she was playing hide the salami with someone he hates. And even though Curtis and Nina are very close friends and have been for quite a while, I think that Curtis will absolutely prioritize his family over hers. He already told Nina they need a plan to disarm Drew. And of course, Nina would love that, but she told Curtis she's got no idea how to make that happen. Then Curtis had that little flashback to Nina talking about sleeping with Drew. And of course, Nina and Drew's affair continued up until the point he was falling for Willow Tate, but once Drew slept with Willow, he didn't touch again. But that's just icky, and the whole timeline is gross, so I suspect Curtis may use Drew and Nina's sordid past against the congressman. All this dirty stuff Drew is doing to keep Willow in his life and convince her that only he can make her happy. You know, maybe Curtis thinks he can blow all that up. The thing is, if Drew got dumped and Willow was out of his life, probably the blackmail and dirty games would evaporate because Drew would have no reason to keep leveraging everyone. And so, I think Curtis' mindset is breaking up Willow and Drew would solve Curtis's problems. But if he exposes Nina's affair with Drew, you know, 100% Nina will wind up collateral damage. Willow would be furious with her mom, you know. Not so much for sleeping with Drew before he got involved with Willow but keeping it hidden for so long. And Nina was still sleeping with him while she knew that Willow had this interest in him. So, there's just a lot of ick overlap. And I do think there's a pretty strong chance that Willow would forgive Drew. You know, maybe not. And I think it's the maybe not that Curtis is counting on too heavily because his plan could fail. Willow could absolutely forgive Drew and would dump Curtis as a friend. Now, she might lose Willow from her life, but I don't think that she would dump her fiancé and then Drew would keep on blackmailing Portia and Curtis. Nina would be probably out from under his thumb for the most part. Though I'm betting if Curtis does this, it'll backfire, and Portia and Curtis and Nina would all be the big losers in the equation. I don't think Willow would want to even look at Nina again after knowing she was sleeping with Drew behind her back and on a regular basis. And then you know, discouraged Willow from getting together with Drew, and she's tried to talk her out of him a bunch, so there's just a lot of dishonesty there. And Willow may go back and question her mom's motives for doing this because Drew said he could just say Nina was jealous of Willow. You know, there's a lot he could say, so I think Nina Reeves' worst fear could come true soon, and it might be one of her close friends who stabs her in the back and causes her to lose her daughter. But on the bright side, her Aunt Liesl Aubrey, Kathleen Gotti, just popped back up and told Nina she can see that her life is in shambles, and Dr. O wanted to know how much of a mess she needs to clean up. And it's not too long until Liesl realizes that something has gone very wrong with Willow's life. So the question is, if Curtis decides to betray Nina and exposes her affair with Drew, how will he do it? You know, Curtis probably can't just directly run the story in one of his publications, but he could give a tabloid tidbit on Nina and Drew to another outlet or to that local gossip columnist. Curtis could even give an interview where he's listed as an anonymous source close to the couple, and it could be a scoop for some online website or something. It won't make Drew happy for the story to come out, but I also don't think he's overly worried, even though he did pay off Cody, because when Nina threatened in the past to tell Willow about them, Drew pushed back and said, "Go ahead, tell her, she forgive me, but not you." And since Willow is so thoroughly gaslit by Drew and totally sucked in by him, I do think Willow wouldn't hold it against him. And on the plus side, if Curtis does this and betrays Nina, you know, one of his oldest friends, at least Aunt Liesl, will be there to hold her hand and dry Nina's tears, because she would be absolutely humiliated. Publicly outed, she would probably lose her daughter. And even if Curtis does this, I think it would knock Nina down but not knock her out, and she would probably double down on trying to expose Drew for this sleazebag he is. As for Drew, if this story came out, I think he knows Nina wouldn't be the one behind it, and the question is, would he realize that Curtis did it? Because if it happens this way, and Curtis outs Drew and Nina, and then Drew finds out Curtis is behind it, woo, I cannot imagine how bad it would get for Portia and her husband, because Drew would go absolutely nuclear now. I really like Curtis, and I hope he doesn't betray Nina, but with all the foreshadowing and frustrations and no way to stop Drew, I think Curtis might feel like he's got no choice. And if you remember, the big wedding is coming at the end of the month, and that would be the perfect time for that story to break, right as the wedding's about to happen, right? I think that would be amazing. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our GH News 24 YouTube channel for more update news.